Hi guys, it's Lara. Thank you so much for watching and welcome to Vlogmas day 14. So we are pretty much a little bit over the half of the Vlogmas episode. Now today I will share with you my sweet potato stew recipe. This is something I already cooked together with you guys during one of my what I eat in a day videos, but I also told you that there were a few things I wanted to try out, and now I have a final version of that recipe and I want to share it with you. So if you want to know how I cook my sweet potato stew, then please keep watching. I thought I'm gonna save us some time, and I already prepared some of the veggies. So I have here one small red onion chopped in rather larger pieces, one red bell pepper, a small piece of celery, and one rather smaller carrot. As you can see, everything either sliced or chopped. Then I have here a couple of green beans cut in smaller pieces, and I have here a few portobello mushrooms that I wanted to use up. And now I'm gonna cut the sweet potato. I find it very hard sometimes because sweet potatoes are super hard to cut, and I personally find it easier when I slice it like that first. By the way, sorry if that was very loud. And then I cut each of the slices into 4 pieces, and that's what I'm gonna do also with the rest of the potato. And here we have the last ingredients, and that's gonna be these plant-based sausages. Now you could use vegan chorizo. I think that would be even better. But we had these sausages at home and they are actually already a few days expired, but expiration date doesn't mean that it goes bad on the date that's listed on the packaging. Usually these things last for at least a week, and it's been just a couple of extra days, so I decided to use this up instead of chorizo. But personally, I think it would taste even better with a chorizo, like a vegan chorizo, obviously. That's, by the way, the sausages that I'm using. I preheated a small amount of coconut oil in a non-sticky pan. Then I roasted the onions and the chopped sausage. I seasoned all with a lot of paprika powder. I also added about 1 teaspoon of onion powder and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And I also added about 1 teaspoon of Italian herb mix, which is rosemary, oregano, marjoram, thyme, and basil. Next, I added the sweet potatoes, the bell pepper, and the celery. After roasting everything for about 2 minutes, I poured in about a cup of water, stirred all again, and then I covered the pan with a lid and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. Once the 5 minutes were up, I added again a cup of water, stirred everything properly, and covered it with the lid and let it simmer for additional 5 minutes. Then I added the mushrooms and the green beans. I like adding these for the last 5 minutes only, because then they're not so mushy and they still remain a little bit crunchy and they taste better. I poured in again more water. I think this time it was like 2 cups, because the whole stew needs to be a consistency of a thick soup, so just keep adding water until you're happy with the result. I stirred all in, covered the pan again with the lid, and let it cook for about 5 more minutes. As usual, I seasoned the soup with a vegan soup powder. That's something I like a lot because there are vegetables and herbs and salt in it, and it just adds a nice flavor. I stirred the soup again, and then I covered the pan with the lid and I let it simmer for additional 2 minutes. In the meantime, I mixed 1 full teaspoon of cornstarch with about a half a cup of water. I made sure that it was nicely smooth. And then I simply poured it into the soup, stirred everything for about a minute, and then I turned the heat off, and then my soup was done. Now the starch thickens the soup a little bit. If you don't care about that, you don't have to add the starch. I personally like when the soup is a little bit thicker, but it's not necessary. It's entirely up to you. And that was it. My stew was finished. Alright, so this is how I cook now my sweet potato stew. I love it so much. It's just so wonderful when it's cold outside. I love soups, and this is like a really thick soup, so it fills you so nicely, and I just love the taste. I definitely think that it would taste amazing with a vegan chorizo, but I think any vegan sausages will do. You can try out a few versions, and in case you don't get any sausages near where you live, you can always use just smoked tofu. I tried that version as well, and it was delicious. So that's it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and see you all tomorrow. Bye!